This is Inside Troy Athletics, a look at what's going on and what's coming up for Troy University's Trojans. Now, here's your host for Inside Troy Athletics, Jonathan Sellers.
Hello, welcome to Inside Troy Athletics. I'm Jonathan Sellers, and today I'm joined by a Senior Associate Athletic Director for Troy University, and that's Sandy Atkins. And thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
Let's get things started off with a great time in Hattiesburg. I know I saw you there, and we kind of battled it out in the rain for the first little bit, but it was a great game, a great atmosphere. And for all those who stuck around for all four quarters, it was a great turnout for the Trojans.
Well, yeah, it started off a little rainy, obviously, and you'll have to forgive me. I got a little bit of a cold from this weekend, but it was a fantastic weekend. Of course, I don't think anybody would have dared left the game come rain or sunshine once we finally got it started.
That's right, and just an exciting environment, exciting atmosphere. I know this is a game that fans have kind of wanted for a long time because a little bit of rivalry between these two schools, especially after the game in the New Orleans Bowl, and we finally got it. It was there this time. We'll get them to come back here in a couple of years, but a great turnout by the Troy fans, a great turnout by Southern Miss, even despite the weather. So what were y'all's thoughts, the athletic department's thoughts on the game?
It really couldn't have been better for us. Obviously, the weather could have been better, but we had a great crowd. I think the Southern Miss fans were very gracious in hosting Troy, and I just being around town and seeing their fans, and they had very welcoming touch to them, so I really appreciated that. But when you getting into the game, and of course it was got delayed about 30 minutes before we got started. So, but once we're finally in there and our fans filled up the stadium, and like you said, they had a good crowd too. But we came out really on fire the first half, and so we had a lot to cheer about, and the fans really seemed to get into it, and it was just overall a tremendous atmosphere for us.
And it seems like there's just a good atmosphere around that program right now. I know just being a fan there towards the end when we won the game, and the football players came over and sang the fight song with the fans because the band wasn't able to be there. It was a neat moment for everybody.
And just building off of the previous week, and you and I were discussing it a little bit earlier. You have a lot of opportunity to cheer, and even in a stadium like Clemson, and certainly at Southern Miss, I felt the majority of the times that our fans were drowning out the opponents, and we had a lot to cheer for. The team was really excited, and at times turned around to get our fans pumped up, and it didn't take much. And so they were very, very loud. And, he kind of builds a little momentum, and, the teams feed off of that. And, getting back to what you were saying about Southern Miss and our programs being very similar and, location-wise not very far apart. So, it was very important for us to play a good game, building that fan base, but also in recruiting as well. We recruit from the same pools that Southern Miss recruits from. So, very important for us to have a good showing, and to come out on top victorious was really extra special.
That's right, and hopefully we get to kind of continue that momentum this week as we start conference play, and that's going to be at home against New Mexico State. That's going to be Saturday at 6 o'clock. An exciting game with lots of activities going on this weekend.
We do have a lot of activities going on this weekend just around the football game itself. We've got band day, so we'll have, it's usually around 20 local high school bands that are able to come and participate in halftime. So, that'll be a lot of fun. We've also got Parents Weekend. We've got discounts at the local restaurants and at the bookstore for parents, and we've got tailgating on Tailgate Terrace for them as well. So I'm trying to draw a large crowd, although I will say too, it's winning certainly helps. Right. Almost immediately you could see an uptick in online sales, and the phones start ringing. So, I think it's very important going into our first conference game. And, New Mexico State is, although they're 1-2 for the season, if you really look back at how they've been playing, they've got a tremendous offense. So, right. I was actually talking with Coach Vic this morning, and he was talking about how good New Mexico State's offense is. So we're going to need a large fan support to hopefully put some extra energy in the stadium on Saturday.
That's right. New Mexico State actually took Kentucky to the wire for a long while.
Yes,
it was close to tied at halftime. But the Parents Weekend, that's something new that y'all are going to try this year, and maybe some of these parents haven't necessarily been to a lot of these Troy games. They were raised on other schools and been fans of other schools. This is maybe a way to try to bring them into that Troy atmosphere and see what it's like.
Absolutely. And, that is hopefully something that we can continue to grow on. Getting the parents back into a football game weekend. We've really not gone down that path before from an athletic standpoint. I think the university does some things with parents, but really trying to package a great weekend for them individually, and then for them with their children to be able to participate in some activities. And you can go on our website and still purchase tickets for that. Okay. We are providing parents a discounted ticket for this weekend. Again, like I said, along with some restaurants in Troy, the bookstores is giving a 25% discount to all parents. So it is something that's new this year, but hopefully we can continue to build on that and make that an annual promotion and event. And
as we said, other activities going on this weekend. I know volleyball will be in action. They'll be playing Friday night and then again on Sunday, and soccer will be at home on Sunday as well.
Yes, it's that time of year again. We're in full-fledged swing of things. Volleyball does start their conference tournament play on Friday, so 6 o'clock Trojan Arena. Those guys need tremendous fan support for them as well, and they the students really enjoy coming out to the volleyball matches, and they can get loud, and it really makes a difference. But those guys kicking it off with conference Friday, Sunday, and then of course soccer on Sunday as well. We also have a few softball preseason or fall season games sprinkled in there as well.
And then also the cross country team will be competing Saturday down in Dothan. It's kind of a preview match for their conference meet down the road.
Yeah, we are actually, Troy University is hosting the Sun Belt Conference cross country match. And we're actually hosting it on our Dothan campus. Okay. So you've been down to that campus. It's got the great meadow, if you will, in the front of the campus, but behind it, it's some wooden trails. So we're really excited about hosting that at the end of October, but we're going to try to get a couple of cross-country meets as a precursor to that tournament at the end of October. So that'll be going on Saturday morning. So we'll send our event staff down Saturday morning, but make sure we get them back.
Hurry up and get back up here.
Yeah.
So, but still plenty of sports going on right now. We, as we said, pretty much everything starting up. Golf, they both competed last weekend, and then tennis is about to get started as well.
Yes, they are. I think they're both headed out next week as well. So those events, really get yourself set up for the spring. Right. But they're extremely important, and like I said, just getting in the thick of things. And we do have a lot of balls in the air that with all our sports. Right. So had a lot of things to look forward to, a lot of positive things from last year and moving into this year. All
right, so just to review, this weekend, starting at 6 o'clock on Friday night, we've got volleyball. Saturday morning, if you're down in Dothan, you can head to the cross-country meet, or if you're local, you can head down there, then get up here for the Trojan Walk starting at 3:45, kickoff at 6 o'clock. Then Sunday, we've got volleyball and soccer both around noon. I know
volleyball at 12 and soccer at 1.
So plenty of action here this weekend, lots to do, and also Parents Weekend, so plenty of opportunities to take advantage of. So.
Absolutely, and it'd be great to have a sweep this weekend across the board. So.
All right, well, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on Inside Troy Athletics. And now on Inside Troy Athletics, we're going to talk about the soccer team with the head coach of that team, Coach Jason Hamilton. And Coach, at home over the weekend to start conference play, got a big win on Friday night, a 3-0 win over Appalachian State. I know that was one of the tougher teams in the league, and a game you were kind of saying could be a tough one for you, but fortunately your team was able to come out and get some goals early and take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think we were very opportunistic on that game. We knew it was going to be a physical game. It was, both teams battled, both teams are very athletic, so it was exactly what we anticipated. We knew we just had to match their work rate and their intensity level, and I thought we did a great job doing that, and played a pretty solid game overall.
And then Sunday came out, faced Arkansas State, tied 1-1, and I know that was a game you said could go either way. Your team could get ahead early and kind of go away with it, or that team could play you really close. It ended up being the second one, and what were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, the score was close, but the game wasn't close. I think we outshot them 25-3. So it was one of those games where, coming off a big win on Friday, we were just a little complacent. The work rate wasn't there, and a lot of it was just willingness to compete and battle. And I think having the game kind of in hand so much, even though we didn't score, like no one really wanted to step up and kind of put the game away. And they had 3 shots and I think 1 shot on goal, and they went in. So it's that's a learning lesson hopefully for our team, that a team that's typically at the bottom of our conference, to come into our home field and get a tie against us isn't what we want. And we wish we'd be 2-0 right now, but we can hopefully learn from this and move forward, and just realize that when you have a game and you have the upper hand, you have to kind of put your thumb down on them and finish them off.
Well, and you get the chance to kind of defend your home field again this Sunday, only playing 1 game this week. Or that it's a big one against Louisiana Lafayette. They come in on Sunday. What do you know about them?
I think they're last year they finished 8th in the conference. They're the last team to make it into the conference tournament, and I think it shows a lot about the level of our conference. They're a good team, and I think they're a much improved team from last year. They've got some dangerous weapons there that we have to be prepared to defend. I think we'll see a lot more opportunities from them than we did this past Sunday. So we just need to make sure when we have a chance, we've got to put it in the back of the goal, and then we've got to just make sure that we're giving up very few opportunities that they're not earning, and when they are, that we're alert and ready to defend. And it's a conference game, which are always going to be tough, as we'll say every week from here on out. It's a Sunday game, which is always a little bit tougher to get up for. It's the middle of the day. It's going to be warm. Right. So we just have to take advantage of being at home and that they've been traveling, and hopefully, show up a little bit more energy than we did this past weekend. Now,
you only playing the 1 game this week. Will you do things any different with your team?
No, we'll just train every day up until then. Okay. Just gives us an extra day of training and 1 less day of a game. So. All
right. Well, Coach, good luck this week, and hopefully you'll get that W this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned for more coming up on Inside Troy Athletics. And welcome back to our final segment here on Inside Troy Athletics, and we're going to talk volleyball with the head coach of that team, Coach Sonny Kirkpatrick. And welcome back, Coach. I know you've been on the road this week, and so finally back at home, and you'll be back at home coming up this weekend. So welcome back home.
Oh, thank you. We had a long week last week, and it's always good to play back here in Trojan Arena.
And I know Tuesday, tough matchup, going up the road to face UAB. I know you wanted a big crowd up there. Your players kind of took over social media for a little while, encouraging fans to get out there. You and the Blazers went back and forth 5 sets, but came up short in that one. What were your thoughts on that matchup?
Overall, that was one of the best teams we've played this year, and even though we lost, that was the best we've played all year. And to play it over an extended period, we came up just short, losing 15-12 in the 5th game, and that kind of gave us some momentum going into the weekend, where I thought we continued to play pretty well for the most part. We lost to 5 to Portland, who was the best team there. They're a top 100 team, and had opportunities to beat them in 4, and unfortunately didn't make a play, and lost 25-23 in the 4th game, and then lost in the 5th. But we've started to play really well, and it's a lot of fun to watch our growth as a team and where we want to try to get to. And you always want to try to be getting close to where you want to be by the beginning of conference, which is this weekend.
Right. So you've kind of wrapped up what you've been calling the preseason, which is your out-of-conference schedule. And what are your thoughts overall? Have you gotten to where you want to be? Do you think y'all are at that point where you need to start conference play?
I think we're really close. We had a really good outing from our players on Saturday afternoon. Got some production from people that we haven't been getting production from, and that takes a lot of pressure off the other hitters. And we're close. Our team likes to prepare. It is so difficult to prepare for 4 matches in 2 days. You can't really go in depth because there's just not enough time in a day to watch film on all teams. Right. And now that we're in conference play, we have access, 1, to more video, and 2, we have a lot more time where we only play 2 matches in a weekend. So we have basically 5 days to prepare for 2 opponents instead of 1 day to prepare for 4.
Well, it also gives your players a little chance to kind of rest up some more, since you only have those 2 matches, a little rest and recovery. You think that's beneficial as well?
Absolutely. We've as juniors and seniors get along in their athletic career, hitting the ground so much, it takes a toll on their bodies. So if you can give them a little bit of time in between matches to kind of recover, it's only for their benefit, and they're a lot more fresh than they would be any other time.
Now, you start conference play, as we've said, and you get to start it at home, so that's an advantage right off there. What do you know about the teams coming in, Texas State and UT Arlington?
They're both really good. Our conference from top to bottom is very, very solid, and I expect Texas State to be one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the conference. They return a lot of experience. I think they have 6 or 7 seniors on their team, and they've been playing a lot on the floor. So it's not like they're plugging in a freshman or a sophomore here. They've got 5 or 6 experienced players at all times. They're well coached. They've been successful. They understand. They've played a really difficult schedule in the preseason, and if we're gonna win, then we need to make sure we take care of our side of the net and make sure that we're being very efficient offensively. And we've got to slow them down a little bit. UTA, I mean, you can almost write it down. It's going to go 5 now. I think we've played them a total of 6 times in our history. Only one of them hasn't gone five sets into extra points. And they're just very, very athletic. And again, they're a very senior-laden team. And, I haven't watched a ton of film on them because we're trying to get ready for Texas State. But I think, if we stick with the game plan and we can make the right adjustments, I think we can play and beat anybody in the league. And that's what we're really excited about.
And how important is it for you to get to the opportunity to start these games at home?
Anytime you can play in the arena, it's an exciting time with the crowd and being familiar with everything and just having a routine.
Right.
And that's what the girls really enjoy. They enjoy the routine. And even when we're on the road, we try to keep the same routine, whether we're going for court time at a certain time or we arrive at the gym. We try to keep things as similar as possible, and that way they don't have to necessarily worry about anything.
And you got the advantage of having a home football weekend this weekend, so there'll be some extra people in town. Maybe hopefully they'll come out to the volleyball team games Friday at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday you'll be playing at noon. So 2 big games, and I know you want to start conference off on the right foot.
Yeah, we want everybody to come out and get a great crowd and try to use that energy to our advantage, definitely. So, if you're not doing anything, come on out at 6 o'clock. It's free to get in, and I think you'll see some pretty good volleyball.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, join us again next week for more on Inside Troy Athletics.